Welcome to Relax and Paint, and today I'm going to do landscape, not portrait. Okay, so you could do either one. I just wanted to share with you that I'm going to do a snowman, and so I'm bringing down this cute little face. She's going to have a cat. Oops, no wrinkle. I mean, no wiggles. I think because I'm down instead of going up. Okay. And then, oops, I'm going to have the brim come down like this. Okay. And so you see a little bit of it, but then right here, there is going to be a band and the flowers are going to go in there. But see right there, that band. I have this hat come across here and down. All right. So the cap, that's a hat, is going to be tilted a little bit like that. Okay, and then we're going to put a rose and all on there. And then down here, it's just a scarf. All right, so the scarf is going to lay over. And we're going to come around from behind. And what I want to do is have it kind of wisp up. Okay, and we'll do some tassels or something there. Okay. And so that's all we need to start with. Now, what I used on the back of this is I used linen and parchment. All right, multi-surface linen and parchment. And what I did was I just muddled that. Can you see it's not perfect? It's kind of muddled in there. All right, and so then I got some different browns that I'm going to use kind of on the hat with just a slight tinge of pink, and then we'll float some pink on it also. And we're definitely not going to use that dark magenta, but we're going to work from there. But the first thing I want to do is I want to put the white where the face is. All right, so let's come around and get a coat of white. Okay, if you do that, you pull it in. Do you see that? All right. And this is winter, so it doesn't have to be Christmas. It can just be a winter scene. But snowmen and Santas, all kinds of fun things during the holidays, right? All right. So then I'm going to just bring a pink tinge in here. So this is just one coat. I got white on my brush still. And we're just got a base coat right here, guys. The pink. All right. And so I want a tinge of it in here of pink. So I'm going to just come up here. This is baby pink. I don't think it's baby pink. It's called, uh, oh, it's baby pink. I was reading the French name. I don't think I can read that. So, okay. So what I want to do is I want to come along in here since we've already got the linen type color on the bottom in this area. Then I'm just going to take the linen and I'm going to side load the teddy bear brown. Is that what that brown's called? Teddy bear brown. I don't know if you have it, but just a brown tone. Asphaltum, there's all kinds of colors you can use. We're just keeping this really soft. I had no idea I had that angle brush. I thought I had the 3/4. So it's kind of nice though, because as we're coming around, it can help you go around here. See where we want some dark there, shadowed a little bit. So instead of floating medium, I'm using the linen as what color, and the linen is what's underneath the one of the colors and the underneath part. So that makes it nice. Now I can scrub across that lead. See the lead, and it gives you a gray tone. All right, that helps shade. Okay, a little bit more brown. Okay. All right, now we're gonna have a little bit here. See that lead? We put just a little bit in there. And as we come around, we're gonna come right around here. Okay, so I'm gonna work this in. Okay, now, so I'm gonna come right, just come in here a little bit. A little bit more in here. When this dries, we come in and work more brown in there. All right, we'll float some other shades in here. All right, so right in here. Okay. And we'll bring it down a little bit because we'll put a flower there. Okay. Now I am going to come right along here and do that on the outside edge. All right, and I can, a little bit later, we have a little bit of white there. Okay. Now I'm going to take the pink with magenta. See, now I have little bits of this brown still in here. And then I can bring a little bit of the linen. Okay. And what I would call that, we used to call it mauve, and then we changed it to dusky rose. I just think that's a nice darker pink in there, just a little bit. And I can come right in here a little bit. Just a little bit of movement in there. We can still come in here with teeny bits of this brown, teddy bear brown. All right. A little bit more. And all of this, we can float color in here after everything is dry. We can float it in here. Let's see how that shading happens. There we go. Okay, so let's look at the face a little bit. One of the things I want to do is I want to get a 1/2 inch scruffy, and I want to put just a little bit of this color that we mixed. All right, which had a little bit of teddy brown and a magenta and linen. All right, so I'm going to come right in here. a little bit of rouge, just a little bit. Okay. And I do like to put a little bit of a whimsical eye in. Lots of times they just have one little dot. I'm going to put burnt umber and I'm going to come right here and tap in right here, a little triangle. Okay, so then you tap a little bit more. So we don't want it to fill in a whole triangle. You'll see that. Okay. Now I'm going to wipe that off a little bit and I'm going to a little bit of whimsical, just a little bit. And then I'm going to take some white and I'm going to do a dot there, a dot there. Okay, just to give you a little bit of a light in the eye. So there we go. Now I like to put a teeny bit of a brow. All right, and then we can take a little bit of a smile. So a little bit of a smile. All right, and we're going to put a nose in here. And I want it pure orange. So maybe we will just use, because we are soft. So I'm going to use some Pueblo. Okay. So as we put this Pueblo in here, I'm going to put a little bit of Pueblo with a teeny bit of brown. Okay. So we're going to come up here. All right. So the white's pretty wet still, so we could dry that white. Let me come down here. Okay, so I'm going to dry that. Just a little bit. So now when I come back in here, I can get a little bit. It still looks kind of watercolory. See, we want it to look a little bit natural. Underneath, we want it a little bit darker than on top. And I can come in here with a little bit of tan. Oops. What about pink? I rubbed that in a little bit. Let's take that off of there. Okay, so I put a little teeny bit of linen. That's what I meant to do just then. Okay, just shading it just a little bit. All right. Now I can take my liner with little bits of white, make it inky, roll the white. I put too much green on there to start with, but that's okay. All right, so what I will do on here is I have a couple swirly things that are going on here. Okay. Okay. We're just getting a little bit wispy looks. All right. And I'm gonna make a little bit of these earthy colors, a little bit of teddy bear brown and magenta. So it's little bit more water. And we'll have a little bit of tassel that's a little bit brighter. Now, that white that we put in there on the scarf, we're going to go back when it's all dry and shade some. We also can come in here with a white with a handle and just add a few little dots around here, which is part of the tassel. Okay. Now, while we have this ink, oh, I needed some more of that inky white. All right. I messed up my inky white with pink. All right, so we're going to come right in here, put a little bits of white there, and we're going to just do a little bit of white here. Sometimes I put little bits of snow there on the edge of the cap, but this time I'm just doing a little bit of white highlight. All right, just a little bit. And a little bit fur, a little bit whimsical. All right. So I can also, like I said, let this dry and then we'll work on that. So now what we're going to do is put our pretty big flower in here. And since I have that angle brush out, let's just use that. All right. So we're going to put this darker pink in the middle, even with some magenta in there, maybe. Okay. Now I'm going to work in the white. So I'm going to come right here, grab some white. So we want a lot of light. Okay, so what we're gonna do is pick up white each time. Okay. All right, so we have that little bit of light pink that's gonna be showing. All right, so now let's pick up a little bit more white. And we're gonna have a couple more layers of this. I pick up white almost every stroke. I'm going in there and picking up, see, gotta get some strong white right there. All right. And so now I'll stand up on the chisel. All the way around. All right. So in the middle, you just the toe of that brush, a little bit of toe of that brush. Please go to practice strokes and it'll teach you a lot about how to use an angle brush. And then inside, I'll put some brown and some pink. A little bit of dark depth and then a little bit of light pink in there. All right, isn't that kind of pretty? All right, so now I'm going to pick up and do some leaves. And so I'm getting both these colors, but I'm going to mix some of the brown in here, the teddy bear brown, because we want it muted. With some white. So look at that. A little bit of the darker green. White. All right, and then we get a teeny bit of medium. All right, so what we want to do is come in here. All right, we're going to come right in here. A little bit more. Okay. Pull a stem in the middle. So this is a number 8. Okay, so we're just putting a little bit of those, and I'm gonna also put a little bit of the script liner. All right, so we're gonna have a few of these little twigs and some little bit of white, little dots out up from it. All right, so now, we want to put some little sweet colors in there. Before I go any further, I want you to see that I think I ought to put a really nice rose right here. And so I'm going to come back in here and pick up the white like we did before. A little bit. All right, so we're just going to come back in here with some little bits of white. See, I'm on my chisel now going around. A little bit of a rosebud. I'm gonna stop there, but I am going to put some brown in here with some magenta, and then a little bit of pink on top. There we go. All right, so let's do a little bit more of the green. We're gonna come in here. Like you push, wiggle a little bit, push, wiggle a little bit. All right, and so when we do that, see, I'm doing all these really pretty natural colors. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit of the inky sap. All right, so let's come in here and we're gonna just splatter some snow around there with, let's use our toothbrush. And I'm gonna put that in water. I'm gonna move it around in here. A little bit more water. Okay, so I'm gonna get white. I'm gonna flick it a little bit here to see if it's working for me. And then I'm gonna put it heavy right in there. Okay, this is some areas. Okay, I should float this before I did that, but I was just dying to see what that was gonna look like. All right, so that gives you a little bit of snow in there. And I'm gonna dry everything. Okay, so let's take, I'm just gonna get a regular flat 3/4. All right, instead of the angle, I'm gonna put floating medium. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna get a little bit of this teddy bear brown and just shade a tinge around the inside of the face. And you'll see that that kind of makes it look warmer and gives it depth a little bit. Okay. All right, just a little bit more on both sides of the brush. There we go. I'm going to take that off there. See, we're going to do it there. And then I'm going to turn the brush around. Got white all over my hand now. There we go. See how warm that makes that look? Okay. Now I'm going to get a teeny bit of this darker. Let's get a little bit of brown, burnt umber with that. And look, see how it gives me this nice shading. All right, just a floating medium again. I'm getting both of those colors. Look, I can come right down over this. Get a little bit more brown right over this. There we go, which makes that look like it's shading better. All right. And I can, what I do see is that if we come along here, ooh, that makes that look good. It just sets it a little bit. Oops, I'm getting some green in there. I didn't dry all that up there totally. Okay, see how that, oh, that looks richer. Do you see that? All right, so I'm going to come right around here and have the knot in there. More medium, more browns. All right, so we're going to come right under here. See that little bit of burnt umber? Look, and I put the shading up underneath. See, doesn't that help it? And then the shading under here. And I just want a little bit here. And then we're gonna just put these, so it's still, you still see the swirls, but it just gives you a little bit of shading under there. Okay, so let's see. And what this does is it just gives you a little bit of aging. Okay, just a little bit. And a little bit on the corners. And a little bit on the upper corners. Make sure you have the floating medium. There we go. Oh, look, I need a little bit along here. There we go. I'm going to come in here and put a few bigger white, like berries in here. Just a few. On those little stems that I put there. And then just a few in here. I hope you like this. You can splatter with sparkles, you can do all kinds of fun things. But I just wanted it to look like, that'd be a cute postcard. Put your, and sign it and share it, guys. Make sure that you subscribe and ring the bell if you want to see when I'm doing lives, because I pop on and do lives often. Thank you for being on today. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.